Hello everybody, this is your host, Nick, and today on the table for the next step in Overdrive October, we have not a direct clone, but a clone with improvements. While it can clone, it does do a lot of other things. As I said for Overdrive October, I am not doing just direct clones, I am doing clone adjacents that can do the clone, and I am also doing ones that throw a lot more out there just besides a basic Klon Centaur Klone. So you'll get the full Centaur Klone, but you also get a lot of extra features, which is really cool. That's like I said, I'm doing as comprehensive as I can be with everything out there, as I want to really show off everything I can find. As the more I research, it's just, like I said, a lot of companies go and put their own little spin on it, where it's either just the normal 3 knobs and then a little bit of things here and there, which is cool also. But I really like the ones like this one, other ones you'll see in upcoming videos of it does the normal clone thing, but then it adds a lot more. So we have the Keeley Manus. And this pedal here has a lot of features packed into it, even though it's just tone level drive. You can, and it also has 2 switches, and then you can choose between true bypass and buffered bypass, which is really nice if you're really like you're one of those people like, hey, this really matters, man. Then hey, it gives you both. Cool. So let's just start going over the features. Well, first of all, for the tone I had, this is without anything, and then this is with the pedal. As I have the bass setting, it made it a lot fatter. So let's just go over everything. So first, on the left side, we have the normal tone knob, which everyone knows is just tone control. Level, which is your output volume, and then drive, which is your drive. Simple. So for tone control under here, we have bass plus and stock. So the bass mode will add 30 decibels of low end, or not 30, 3 decibels of low end. My mistake, but those 3 decibels make a very big difference. And then stock mode just gives the normal basic transparent mid boost that we all are used to. And on the side we have either a germanium transistor or a germanium diode for the clipper. The transistor, which is the top setting here, will give more compression saturation, while the diode will give the standard clone. So I'm just going to put this in clone settings real quick, just so everyone can get an idea. So now I'll just go back down to stock. The drive will go to the diode, which it is already there. Tone about metal, and drive about right there, and level about right there. So then throw in the classic clone. Like I said, all these can do clone style clones, which is awesome. So this is what the clone would sound like, and if you can remember what the last setting sounded like. And just in my ears, you can, and hopefully it shows up in the video too if I edit everything correctly, because sometimes I do have to normalize the levels, but I try and I don't just flat normalize. I just kind of lower the volumes of the really high parts so it's not blowing out everything. But I try to keep everything nice and smooth while still being able to show off the dynamic volumes. And as you can tell, this is more mid-heavy. There is less bass to it, because if I just do everything the same, but just flick just like this, and then you can tell the difference. So let's just go and start over everything. And what's actually very nice here, their instruction manual is just one nice little thing here. And one thing that they do give is suggested settings, which that's how I know that's the classic clone setting. Here is the single coil beefy setting, the evolve clone, and the G sustain. So let's try the evolve clone style, which that'll just be up and then everything at 12 o'clock here. And yeah, it sounds more saturated. And anyways, let's just start with everything from the normal clone and start going through everything. So honestly, we're going to keep that in the middle here. And then I'm just going to do this. And hopefully that showed a pretty good comparison to what we can come to expect. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is we're just going to have a basic tone right here. Not much, but I'm going to toggle the bypass settings. So, right now it is on true bypass, I believe. And if I hold down, so this is what true bypass sounds like. And if I hold it down for 3 seconds, or 2 seconds, it will give me buffer bypass. Okay, so that was 2 blinks, so that's for true bypass, so we're on buffer, so this is true. And now let's go for buffer. Subtle difference there, but there is a difference. So let's go and find another little fun that we can go with this. And So I think that was a pretty decently good demonstration there to show off at least some of the settings that I could find. And of course, like, I can spend hours on this just going in and fine-tuning it per tone, but I do like all the little extra features to be able to sculpt it towards the type of sounds I want. And I also do like the toggle for the buffered or the true bypass, just because I know that some people really do care about that. So it is a very useful thing to be able to choose, which I don't know how they did it, but they did. So it is useful, because, like, again, if it don't hurt nothing, I like having options. Even if I don't understand the options are very useful in my opinion, just so you can have well, like I said, you have options. It's always good to have little extra options there, just so you're not stuck of like, well, this is the only thing I get, I don't get anything else. It's like, well, it don't hurt nothing, so it's nice for them to give us a little bit extra, you know? No harm, no foul. Pretty nice of them. Awesome. So anyways, let's go and get to the actual review now. So, running down what I have here. The build quality is really nice. It's actually nice and lightweight. Nothing too fancy about it. So, nice, clean, solid. The click switch doesn't have a click to it. It actually is a smoother switch. And the flicks feel good. The knobs feel good. They are plastic. So out of like Klon form factor, obviously they didn't go for the form factor of the big old fat boy Klon. It's more akin to the size of an average Boss pedal. But the build construction is solid, so I'll give it a 4.2 out of 5. A little bit extra just because it does feel a lot more solid than the average pedal. And the plastic, while it's still plastic, has a lot of extra grip on it, so I do like that. Even though, like I said, the 5 out of 5 is all metal. The tone quality and the sound, while it does have the ability to be a basic Klon, it gives me a lot of options with it, which I can appreciate out of instead of just a standard overdrive, especially how it has multiple selectors for transistors, the extra bypass, and even though it is still just 3 knobs, it gives a lot more out of it. So it's like a Klon clone, but evolved. I can really appreciate that. I like what it did there. That is very good of them. So I'll give it a 4.782 out of 5. The only reason I don't give it full 5 out of 5 marks is that at the end of the day, it is an overdrive, and it's still overdrives. It's not, like I said, I reserve 5 out of 5s for like super brand new ultra effects, something that really just shakes up everything. At the end of the day, this is still an overdrive. It's a very nice overdrive. This isn't a dig at it. That's just how I am. And it's my opinion, and it's also just the voice's opinion of whatever number they scream at me first. And that's what they gave me, so right in the middle, we'll give a 4.56 out of 5 for the final rating. Anyways, this has been your host, Vic. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everyone's viewership. Go ahead and leave a comment on anything you think I am missing for Overdrive October thus far, or if you have any other Klon clones you want to tell me about, or clone adjacents like this. And if I haven't already purchased them, I'll make sure to add them to the ever-growing list. Also, you can just leave a comment to say hi, just to be nice, and help with the whole algorithm and all that mess that is currently going on, just because the YouTube algorithm is a strange creature, where it's like engaged views and all this other stuff I don't understand. Awesome. So, besides that, please go ahead and like the video, as it does help the reach, and subscribe if you aren't, to watch me journey along with Overdrive October and any other synth news that's going to be coming out through my channel, as I will always be posting daily. You'll get 2 Overdrive October videos per week until I get through all of them, so it's not just going to be the month of October. And if you know anyone else who would enjoy something like this or like my content, please refer my channel to them, as I would appreciate the viewership. Along with, especially if you know someone who's like really into Klon clones and wants to get this super rundown list of everything, which there will be the playlist in the description, and it would also appear on the screen. Go ahead and tell them about it, as I would appreciate that. But once again, like and subscribe, as it does help me out. And just leave a comment. But this has been your host, Vic, once again. Thanks for watching.